Hey there, it's Sarah, and I'm back with another 12 minutes of exercise to help you stay fit on even those busiest days. And today I'm bringing you some functional exercises to help strengthen those muscles that we use regularly in our day-to-day activities. And we're going to work for 30 seconds at a time with 2 exercises back to back and a short 15-second rest in between. We'll do that 3 times, take a 45-second rest, and then we'll repeat 3 more rounds with some new exercises. And we've only got time to do that 3 times because it's only 12 minutes. We're going to start with a hip hinge with the feet under the hips and on our feet. I have a mat because we'll come down to the floor for a plank and some push-ups, but we're only down there for a minute, so if you don't need a mat today, don't worry about it. Another option would be to come to a table and plank from there, or a countertop, or down to a bench, a coffee table, or a chair, and plank and push up from here. So you can plank or push up from any level. Another option would be to find a wall and place your hands against the wall, step the feet back, lean into it, hold your plank from there, and then you can push up against the wall as well. It's only for 1 minute, 2 quick 30-second rounds, then we're up on the feet to finish our workout. So let's start up on those feet with them under the hips, hands on the hips, and we're just going to do our little hip hinge to start to warm things up. So on our press start, you bring the feet under the hips, hands on those hips, and just tip forward. There's a slight bend in those knees. Your back is long and straight. And you're just going to push those hips back behind the heels and push those heels down into the floor. Draw your belly button tight towards your spine, and we're going to keep it there as we exercise with that strong belly brace supporting our low back. At the bell, we're going to add some arms. We're going to draw letter I, letter Y, and letter T with those arms. So reach up overhead for a big letter I. Hands come back down, then they open wide towards the corners for a Y. And then they're going to open wide out to the sides for a T. So as you reach forward, push the hips back. And then reach those hands up to the corners. Shoulder blades are pulling back and down, and then in towards the spine. Belly is braced. Knees are soft. Big reach. And then come down to the plank, wherever level you'd like to be at. Hands are under the shoulders. You can be on toes or knees. If you feel your hips coming up, please drop to the knees and drop those hips down. We want a long line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. So wherever you are in your plank, try to push the floor down, pull the belly button up, and then roll those shoulders back and down, hips under. Another option is going to be to bring those knees right under the hips, and you are welcome to push up from here as well. At the bell, let's take the hands just a little bit wider, and we'll try some push-ups. So keeping that core strong, just start to bend the elbows, lower the chest down about elbow height, and then push into the floor and bring yourself back up. And these can be done from the knees. Maybe the knees are right under the hips. Maybe you'd like to come up a level and you want to push up from a chair or a bench or a coffee table. You've got about 10 more seconds to finish these push-ups. Then we're back up on the feet. Let's come back up. Whew, shake it out. And we're going to repeat our good mornings. So you might notice you're breathing a little heavier after those push-ups. Catch your breath and just tip forward and then back up. Push the hips back, a little bend in the knees. Think about the back of the legs like a rubber band. And as you tip forward, stretching it just a little bit, create tension, and then keep that tension as you come back up. And we're going to keep that same movement and add the arms at the bell. So get a little squeeze in the glutes as you come back up. Keep that strong core on. Let's add arms. Reach forward, reach to the corners, and then reach out to the side. So big letter I, big letter Y, and a big T. 10 more seconds. Little bend in those knees. Big brace in the belly. Feel the upper back engaging. And shake it out. All right, we're gonna focus on the lower body, one side at a time. We're gonna stay with that hip hinge, but we're gonna put weight on one foot. So the other foot can either step back behind you lightly, and we're just gonna tip forward, or we can start to pick up that back leg as you tip forward. So depending on your balance, you choose what works for you. It's a little bend in your standing leg, opposite foot back light on the floor, hip square, shoulder square, core on. Get ready, we're going in 5 seconds, and it's just a simple tip forward. So here we go. Tip, and then bring yourself back up. So remember that tension building on the back of that standing leg. The other leg is just there for some support. So maybe pick it up, depending on your balance. If you're lifting it up, make sure you're keeping those hips square. If you feel yourself twisting, whoops, bring the foot back down. At the bell, we're gonna step back into a low, wide lunge. So make sure you're stepping back hip distance like you're on railroad tracks. We wanna be really steady in the legs. And we wanna be able to keep that front knee right over the front ankle as we step back. So step back nice and long into the ball of the foot. Keeping those hips square and the chest up. Split the weight between your feet when you step back. And we're firing up this static leg as you bring yourself forward. Shake it out. So we're gonna add on to those moves. We're gonna try our single leg deadlift. Then we're gonna pick this leg up in front. So either toes down for balance and then a little lift, or you're gonna lift back and then a little lift up. So you choose what works for you. Maybe toes down and then knee lift. We're on the same leg, so that hip and glute should be firing up. You can take a little tap down to help with your balance, or you can keep those toes up. At the bell, we're back to our lunges, but we're gonna add a squat when we step back in. So you'll step the feet back under the hips, and then just bend those knees into a squat. So step back, long and low, step in, squat low, lunge, squat. We want those knees to track right over those middle toes when we sit the hips back. Keeping the chest up and that belly braced. So round 3 is going to be similar movements, making them a little bit more dynamic. So let's shake it out. We're going to repeat deadlift, knee lift, but we're going to add a hip roll. So as you bring that knee forward, you're going to roll it out. So let's take a little deadlift, and then up and out. So you can pick that foot back behind you, then bring it up in a hip roll, or light on the floor as you tip, lift and roll. Hips are square the whole time. And then we want to get the most out of our workout. So if you're looking for a little cardio burst, we're going to add some hops. We're going to lunge, hop into your squat. Maybe jump back to your lunge, hop into your squat. Add some hops. If you're not ready for that, stay with that lunge, squat, or add a little hop. Hop into the lunge, hop into the squat. Landing softly into those feet, keeping the knees tracking out. 3 seconds. And breathe. Shake it out. Bring the heart rate back down if you added that hop. Catch your breath. You've got time for a sip of water. We got 35 seconds. So quick stretch here. Loosen up the legs. We're going to move to the other side. And start with our single leg deadlift. So working the opposite side. 20 more seconds. Stretch if you need it. You're doing awesome. Your workout is almost done. You've only got about 3.5 minutes left. So let's plant that opposite foot down into the floor. Square up the hips. Other foot light back behind us. And let's tip forward. Little bend in the standing leg. Push the hips back. Find that tension running down the back of the leg. And then really fire up the glutes. Bring yourself up. And maybe pick up that back leg if you're ready to test that balance. You can also reach towards the floor if you'd like. You don't have to keep hands on hips. This is your workout. Do what feels good to you. And get ready to lunge at the bell. Step back, step in, step back, step in. That long, wide step, hips are square. Make sure you bring weight into that back foot when you step back. And don't forget to breathe. You get a 15-second break, and then we're going to add on to these moves. Shake it out. We're going to add that front knee lift to our single leg deadlift. So opposite foot light. Maybe we're going to pick it up. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to reach to the floor. Maybe not. We're going to add that front knee lift though, wherever you are. So either toes down and then up in front, or lift to the back and then up in front. So you choose what works for you. Focus on keeping those hips square. Lots of load on this standing leg. Get ready to add the squat to your lunges at the bell. So we step back into that lunge. We step in to squat. Long step back, low lunge. Can we squat a little lower? I think I said low lunge when I was squatting. Sometimes do as I do, not as I say. Lunge and squat. We are almost done. We've only got 2 more rounds. We've only got 1 more minute. We're going to get through it together. So we're going to single leg deadlift. We're going to add the hip roll. So maybe that back foot is back there to help us balance. Maybe we're challenging that balance. Maybe we're not even tapping the foot down. We're going to keep it up the whole time. You choose your level. So foot can be down and then little lifts, or you can tap in between your lifts. And if you want to add a hop at the bell, if you want to get that heart rate up just a little bit more to finish your workout, you add the hop. If you don't want the hop, don't do it. Just lunge, squat, lunge, squat, or hop it. Little hops. We've only got 17 seconds. And then your 12-minute functional training workout is done. Stay in it, stay with me. Breathe.
Activity completed.
Done. Breathe. Get water. Quick stretch. If you've got 12 more minutes, do another video. Or even repeat this one. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for joining me.